As I talk to you like Sapa, I don't achieve that.
You
can end up to 30 to 70,000 naira just one.
Where? How? She was practically harassing me.
Shut up!
I'm not a sex worker. If they need a sex worker, they should go to a brothel and get it. See, now massage I can't do. I was raped.
Like, do you even listen to yourself? A full-fledged man like you with all these abs and everything telling me to my face that you were a gang rape.
I was actually raped. That's when I thought I'm gonna the piece of my life. My boss came knocking.
You cannot go out looking like that, okay?
Who do you think you are?
Musa, the supermodel?
Yeah, that's the bastard!
Yes, I know I'm nobody. But I know the sanity in marriage.
You can't lock the door. You can't push me to bed.
I don't fit tell anybody because they no go believe me.
Today I have with me Godwin Harrison, who is the producer and the maker of Happy Ending. So Godwin, so give us a brief scenario or give us a synopsis of Happy Ending.
Happy Ending is actually a story of a queer guy and a straight and hetero girl who went into the modeling agency, and they decided to things were really forthcoming due to there's so many scenarios of sex for what's it called, to sex for
Pay.
getting an appointment or something, sex for pay, something like that.
Yeah.
So it didn't really work out well with them. So at the end of the day, the both of them, they suffered rape. They were raped by a supposed pageantry. Okay, the guy was raped by his pageantry, while the girl was raped by a supermodel who she looked up to her. Then trying to, you know how it is with victims, they had to take out some time to heal. So they had to take out time, heal. After healing, all hope was lost and nothing was forthcoming. Their image was tainted, their career was dead, everything was just down the drain. So they decided to go into the massage profession to meet up ends meet. And when they went into the massage profession, unfortunately for them, the same perpetrator who raped them during their days in the modeling agency came as a client, and that was where their troubles began afresh. So the story, in essence, covers about the wrong notion most persons.
Sorry to cut you short. I just need to kind of clarify this. So the both victims worked in the same massage store.
Yeah, exactly. They actually don't know themselves. Just during after the whole scenario that they became friends.
Gotcha.
So that's in the massage profession that they became friends and tend to know themselves and tend to know their stories. And so they became allies after that. So, but we wanted to use this project in particular to talk about our main reference though was a male rape victim. Because we have stories of female rape victims all the time. As a 1001, there are even so many hashtags of it on the internet. But the male rape victim, that was our main focus. And to complicate things for the fact that also is queer. Because when the guy started seeking justice for what happened to him, the pageantry brought out his sexuality. And unfortunately for him, due to we know the nation we are, the people who were backing him up, all of them just dropped. Immediately sexuality was exposed. Everybody just dropped. And the victim became the prey. He was even arrested. So it was a double problem for the young man. So we wanted to show to the world that that this thing do happen, and what is wrong is wrong. What is wrong is wrong. What is good for the goose is also good for the gander. So we should not segregate because of one's sexuality. We should not say this one is this one is that. Whatever happens to the person deserves it. No, it's wrong. It's wrong. So that's the conversation that Happy Ending is trying to put forward to the world, to the audience at large, that rape, male rape, irrespective of sexuality, is rape. And whoever is the perpetrator should be brought to book. And you agree with me also that male rape is hardly talked about in this part of the world. In fact, not in the world at large. It's
Yeah,
hardly.
especially I kind of feel like when it comes to male rape, people are even stigmatized if they are raped, because like they have been situation where people, male rape victims, have gone to report cases of rape, and maybe actually it's not queer rape, but it's more heterosexual rape, and they're like, enjoy she be the girl no fine, why they complain and all that. And these are the things that these people get to hear and they have to deal with, but still forgetting the fact that these people have been raped. Even if the person was fine, cute, or sexy, rape is rape.
That's the point in particular. That's the exact point in particular. Male rape is male rape, irrespective, be it a male or female, as long as there's no consent, it's rape. But we as in, to some extent, you wouldn't blame. I think the society is to be blamed for this. The patriarchal society. I mean, they have made men, we male, to be omni what? Omni all. Let me use the word omni all. That is, we are impenetrable, we are invincible. Whatever comes our way is always to our own advantage. And it's wrong. It's so wrong in all ramification. So Happy Ending speaks on this particular subject matter, and it tells the world that this is wrong. Those guilty should be brought to book, and those already that have gone through it, there should be ways of seeing them through it, because most of them at the end of the day might commit suicide. Most of them at the end of the day might commit suicide. So there should be ways of administering care.
Is the way of administering care also seen in Happy Ending? Does the character go through any, psychological therapy or healing process through yoga or a spiritual kind of journey in the movie?
Well, in the movie, we didn't actually project that through visual saying, but through flashback, we were able to say that. We actually project that because he had to take some time off the social media, everything, to heal. Because during his cause of his problem, everybody actually left him, and he was suicidal. He was very, very suicidal at that point in time. So he just needed to seek help for himself. Different people have different ways of healing. I, for one,
That's true.
when I go through, sorry, I, for one, if I go through shit, I heal. I hardly talk to people. I heal by myself through reading of books, through listening to music. Those are what heals me. So using myself, a writer, a work of a writer is always the writer himself. So I had to depict my own healing process in the script.
It's really amazing the work you guys are doing. I have seen the trailer, I've watched it, and I saw the cinematography. The cinematography is top notch. The lighting also tells a million story. I see the places where we had green light and we have different colors of light. Why did you go for that type of cinematography? I've seen so many of your works, and your works don't have this cinematography in them before. Why did you decide to change and tune it up a bit?
All right. So Happy End that happens to be my first feature-length film in years. I think I last did a feature-length film during my days in Asaba. That was 2017. So I think that project was actually what wrecked me. So after that project, I stopped doing feature-length film, and I needed to go home. So being my first feature-length film in the quiet January, I needed something that was out of the ordinary. Lightning tells stories. That's one thing most cinematographers don't understand. Lightning itself is a story. Lightning itself is a story. So as at early this year, while Orgasm was going on, we were already on the planning process, the pre-production of Happy Ending. So I told my team, I was like, this time I want something unique, something Nollywood have not seen before. Not something Nollywood have not seen before. It's a 85 scene script, and each scene We had to settle down to checkmate lightning for each scene. What lightning befits each scene. Though we went through our normal color palette, the color palette for the entire film was green, which is what to grow. We know green is all about to grow. That's to tell to the world that despite you are a rape victim, despite you are despite what you're going through, at the end of the day, there's always an healing process for you, and you go through it. So that was the general color palette of the film. But in between that, we also make sure each scene has its own lightning, and each of those lightning actually tell the story of that scene and reflect the emotions of that scene. So it was a very long work for me and my team. It was a very long work for me and my team. Thanks to my production supervisor, Obi Chinedu. He was really, really on at it. And my cinematographer, Johnson Filmworks, that boy is unique. He was very, very unique. As in, we didn't sleep for about 5 nights at a go, 5 straight nights. Nobody blinked an eye. All of the crew, we were there, seeing ways of bringing what we had visually or what we had mentally into a visual display. So that was just it. So it was my first feature-length film, and I needed it to be beyond the usual, because our target is actually a major streaming platform, which we have already started making waves already. Even when I send the trailer to one of the streaming platform, the reviewing team, one of the reviewing team had to email me privately and was like, she was in love with everything about the film. So it's at least that's one of the things that makes me happy. At least when you do a work and you know people appreciate that work, it makes you happy. So
Yeah, and the fact you had a strong story, you had good production value, because like even the camera movement. Sorry for most people who do not understand. I'm gonna ask you because like that's how I feel. Even the camera movement and everything, the audio was amazing. One thing about Nollywood is that, especially, let me just put it as about Nollywood, is that the audio is very horrible, minus the storytelling. Sometimes the storytelling and the editing don't even match, but from the thrillers and from your work, I can see that the audio was good, the editing was top notch. But now let's go into where you guys are. What stage, how far are you gone in pre-production? Because we know you sorry, I mean post-production. We know you've done pre-production, we know you've done production. Now in post-production, what area of the film, and how do you think people could help also bring light to happy ending?
all right. So happy ending. We are now in the post-production process. As a matter of fact, we are in the editing process of the post-production. We are still editing the film because the streaming platform gave us from now to next month or next 2 months to submit the full film so they can start their reviewing process. So so far so good. We spent over 5M on the project.
5 million naira.
5 million naira on the project. It was actually 4.95 million. That's approximately 5 million we spent on the project, but we're still looking for some 1 or 2 to balance up for the color grading and the etc. And works of art is all about money, funds, miscellaneous that you didn't prepare for. That's why you budgeted them. I mean, we had budgeted about 500,000 for miscellaneous, but at the end of the day, we even went beyond that. So we are in the post-production process and we are looking for funds to finish it up. Right now we have a GoFundMe account. We have a GoFundMe account courtesy of Q Talk. The GoFundMe, if possible, anybody can share it out. If you are out there, you can share it out and then reach out to as many persons that they should help donate. I mean, nothing is too small and nothing is too big. Just help us to bring this dream to the big screen. That's just our appeal to the public and to whoever is watching this right now.
So, viewers, you've heard from Hog House Media. We're going to have more of the cast and more of the crew come in to tell you their own side of the whole, filmmaking process. This is a big project for the LGBTQ community. I know most of you maybe say, it's just a movie. Well, what's important? It tells a story of what we have been going through. Far from that, it puts us in the light of the international screen. That is very important. Once our stories are on the international screen, it creates awareness awareness of the stigma and the pains and the trauma we go through. It gives us a voice. So this is not just hug media, this is not just ads, this is a statement. This is also queer liberation. One way for us to also do activisms like we've talked about is also through media, not just Q talk, but as much as we can do through films, through music, through protest, through camping. So viewers, I'll urge us to donate anything we could, any way we could help. Let us try and help. If you are in Nigeria, I think underneath this video there will be an account where you could also donate if you're in Nigeria and you cannot, go through the GoFundMe. So please reach out to us, reach out to Hug Media. Also, their details will be beneath under this videos, so you can have more details if you need to have more conversation before you drop a dime, because we know most people want to have more conversation. There are also reward points if you donate. So Godwin, tell us about the reward points for those who donate through the GoFundMe finally before we go.
All right, the reward points, if you happen to donate as above $500, your name will be inscribed in the film as one of the executive producers, and then we would send you a personal. We are ready for a private screening of the film in Lagos. Courtesy of my very good friend Mike Powell. So we are arranging for it, and then you would be a participant of that private screening free. So that's that for that.
So you see, if you donate 500 and above, you will have a private screening. You also walk the red carpet of that. You also take picture and say, I was there at Happy Ending screening. You will get to meet the cast and crew of Happy Ending. That is a big deal. So I feel, even though you don't have $500, even if you can donate one, you can still say, oh, I donated to something that is changing life.
I mean, during the course of all of this shit, you've outed yourself. I am not ready to be outed. I have a family to protect. I have a reputation to protect. I can't be in shit. I'm done.
So, okay, let's start with Barnabas. Barnabas, tell me a bit about your character. Just briefly, your character, and tell me how you were, or rather, tell us how you were able to fit into this role in Happy Ending.
Yeah, so you already said my name. My name is Prince Barnabas, and I played the role of Tenazandi in the movie Happy Ending. Yeah, and the role actually speaks a lot. It speaks a lot, and keying into this role, I would say there are a lot of things I have encounter in life, and adding it to this role, I feel I was able to relate more to the role. Like, I'm a model. Yeah, in real life I'm a model, and also in the movie I'm also a model. And this is a model who at some point couldn't keep up with the whole Miyaki that the industry was throwing at him. So, and the sponsors, everybody was kind of requesting for something. So it's like, you scratch my back and I scratch yours, you scratch mine, I scratch yours. So I couldn't play alongside what they were requesting, and I had to, jump out. So getting gigs was a bit of a problem for me. But along the line, I had to jump into the massage, that's becoming a masseuse, and get into the massage therapy, because I felt like, okay, since it was all about money, and yeah, I was getting the money from this other aspect. So playing that role, Tenazandi was a good one.
Just to go back to your questions, or to point out to your answers, your model in real life, in your career as a real life model, have you ever encountered such situation where a sponsor tells you, unless we are intimate, you are not going to get this certain gig?
Oh yeah, I have.
And how did you handle that situation?
Oh, it was very simple for me, because I believe we all, as humans, we all know what we want, and regardless of that, I think the most important thing is being able to prioritize your focus, like being able to know what you're going for. So I wouldn't want to get a gig while I have to grease someone else's bed, or get a gig while I have to do something contrary to what to do to my own will. So that aspect, when the sponsor in particular gave me his terms and conditions, I couldn't go through it. Like I couldn't go by the terms, so I had to just let go. I had to quit the gig and tell him, okay, I can't do this, so let's just move on.
We'll come back to you, Barnabas, but let's just go to Salami. Salami, just please introduce yourself and tell us a bit about your character, Mohammed, in Happy Ending.
Okay, my name is Victory Salami, also known as Prince Salami. That's Do Prince Salami. Okay, I happen to play the role of Musa, which is the very naughty one in the movie. He's the one in charge of all the bad doings and everything that has to, like, the main focus of everything, causing the problems and everything in the movie. Okay, Musa as a character is not quite an easy one for me.
Sorry, viewers, network issues again. Let's just wait a bit for Salami to come back. But let's go to Barnabas. Barnabas,
I just had to fit in.
Okay, no, carry on. I thought your network was still disturbing. Salami, carry on. And Salami is out. Or let's just go back to Barnabas. So Barnabas, let me just ask you a follow-up question. So in this movie, you were raped. You were raped in this movie. And when you were playing this rape scene, how did you feel? What was the atmosphere like? What came into, what came into your brain? What was your emotional stand, and how did you feel after that scene?
Oh, well, one thing I love about Happy Ending is the fact that is like a platform, or the storyline we are trying to bring out the hidden truth in the industry, being able to highlight a lot of hidden agendas, hidden things in the industry. So playing that role, I was raped in the movie, yes, but when I was playing that scene, all I could really think about or remember was the incident that happened to me a while ago, like some years back. I happened to fall into a situation whereby I got raped to some extent because I was scared. I don't want to get to a point whereby the person would throw me out, because it was like a journey. I made a journey to a neighboring state, and bad luck for me, I didn't meet with the person I was supposed to meet with, and I fell into a wrong hand, and it all just happened. So playing that role, it all just take me back to what has happened.
Those
but
flashbacks.
Since it was about portraying and passing a message, so I really didn't feel that much emotional, because yes, it's a movie, but the truth is we have to let people know what it's all about. So I played that role, and yeah, my emotions were very stable. I was very okay.
So let's just go to Salami, because you have been on your own, role and your own matter. I would like to ask you another follow-up question, which is very important. I would like to ask you, how did you heal with your own rape, experience in real life and in this movie? But before we get the answers to those questions, let's just go back to Salami. Salami, are you with us? Salami's network is bad. Kilode Chineke nna.
Very bad.
Nna ya MTN ọ dịkwa bad o. Salami. Okay, let's just go back to that follow-up question, and we'll come back with Salami. But before we go into that question, let's just take a brief look at the short film Happy Ending, the thriller of the short film Happy Ending. And once we are back, we are going to dive into the final question. And if we are able to get hold of Salami, we're going to also have Salami back in the studio. So
as I taught you, like Sapa, I don't achieve that.
Shady.
You can end up to 30 to 70,000 naira just from
Where? How? She was practically harassing me.
Shut up!
Not a sex worker. If they need a sex worker, they should go to a brothel and get it. See, now massage I can't do. I was gang raped.
Like, do you even listen to yourself? A full-fledged man like you with all these abs and everything telling me to my face that you were gang raped.
I was actually raped. That's when I thought I'm gonna the piece of my life. My boss came knocking.
You cannot go out looking like that, okay?
Who do you think you are?
Musa, the supermodel?
Yeah, that's the bastard.
Yes, I know I'm nobody, but I know the sanity in marriage.
You can't lock the door. You can't push me to bed.
I don't fit tell anybody because they no go believe me.
So now that we're back, viewers, Barnabas, tell us, how were you able to heal? And very specifically, how were you able to heal in real life? Because you did mention that you were raped in real life. You fell into the hands of, bad, these bad people. Sometimes you put this confidence in somebody and say, okay, this is what I'm going through. You try to confide with, not just members of our community or my community, and members of also the heterosexual community, and you confide in them and you tell them what you're going through, but people then see you as a prey and use that opportunity to harvest from where they have not sown. So tell us, how was your healing journey? Did you go through any therapy? Did you go to church? How did you heal? I just want to know, because a lot of people who are watching may have been raped or may have been raped, or they are going through something, through an assault, through an abuse, and they may just find it helpful knowing your healing journey.
Okay, so when this whole thing happened, it happened in 2023. It happened in 2020, yeah, when I made a journey to Port Harcourt. So like I said, I was supposed to meet with a friend, with someone, but along the line, the person in particular stayed a bit far from where I dropped. So I had to hook up with a different person. And it was all just like, I would say it was like a setup. But since I didn't meet the both of them together, I won't say they actually planned it. So it all just happened. But the healing process for me, like at some point I was feeling so traumatized because I couldn't tell anybody about it. I felt like, okay, I was a full grown man as at then. I couldn't say a word to anybody. I had to keep it to myself. But deep down, I was really hurt, just trying to get back again. So it was at that period I had to, hit the gym again, like get back to the gym. And I had to just involve in something that would always make me, not think about it, not have to, reminisce and go back on it. So I just got myself busy with a lot of things, and mostly I was hitting the gym constantly. I started working out. I started, working on myself and trying to, do with that feelings, that mindset of, okay, this is what happened and it has happened. So how do you go about it? So I just tried to, get myself busy with something, and I think I was able to overcome that feelings, that aspect.
Thank you so much for that. Let's just go over to Salami. Salami, are you back with us?
Yeah, yes, I'm back. I'm perfectly back now.
We have been trying to get hold of Salami, but network has been an issue. As you guys know, the providers in Nigeria sucks. Sorry to say that, but that's the reality. But Salami, let's go into your character. We've heard a little of what you had to say before the network broke you up. So tell us, how were you able to fit into this place of Mohammed, who constantly abused the people he's supposed to, motivate, the people he's supposed to take into a new brighter future. It's something just, having, an employee, but having a sponsor, someone you respect, someone that you feel it should be your, what would they say, your destiny helper, now becomes the devil in your life. How did you, feel in this role, and what has been your experience in real life with your role too? So over to you.
Well, the mentality I have with the role is that it's a movie. It has nothing to apply to my real life. You understand?
I don't think with Salami we're going to get anything from that MTN network.
Because in real life, I'm a different person in a movie. So it's just something like, it's just I'm an actor. It's what I'm asked to do. Then I just happen to fit in the role. Well, it wasn't an easy one trying to fit in a role that you're not used to, something that is not part of your lifestyle, and a bad one at that matter. Because me, everything that I had to myself and try to just use it to fit in a role, like trying to movie Happy Ending Musa was kind of a really difficult one trying to fit in, seriously. But I happened to just fit in and I did well. And it has been great all those while. It has been really great.
I know you said it has nothing to do in real life, but playing that role, what moral lessons did you get, or what moral lesson would you like to portray to those who watch it from your character?
Okay, playing that role, like everything I experienced while playing the role was like, wow, this is not really me. And I happened to play this. Me causing havoc, raping boys and girls, doing all sorts of deeds. It was not really a good one. So anybody that is doing that in real life, it's not really a good thing to do. You understand? So it's not something I do. So it's not something I am used to. I don't do that in real life. So I wouldn't say I learned anything from it, because it was just a role. You understand? So I didn't do it. I don't see myself doing such bad thing in real life. So I would just say this as an advice to anyone who is doing it, or anyone who has hand in maybe raping boys or raping girls, just to take advantage of them, trying to help them. I'll just say, man, it's not a really good thing. It's a very, very bad thing. It's a stench. It's a very bad thing to yourself, to your name and everything.
So, as an actor, this is going to be towards your career. As an actor, how did you navigate through the script? Because most square people now watching will want to know, okay, or younger people watching want to know, how do I become an actor? How do I become this character in this script? Because it's just a script. Sometimes these characters may not be real, but goodness Lord that this one was real. How did you navigate, and what's your advice to younger upcoming actors to be able to navigate and key into the script of any movie?
Okay, something about acting. Sometimes you might just find yourself acting and you just say, wow, man, I can do this thing so freely. Maybe I should just try it in real life. No, if it is a bad one, I won't advise anybody who knows is acting as an upcoming on anything should go into something like that and just think to put it into a real life character, because it's a very bad role. So as an actor or an upcoming actor, I would just say, okay, if you're asked to act a particular role that this role is really, really bad, you understand, this role is not something you're used to. It's like a role that you're supposed to act just to portray a character and to portray in a movie, then you should just be vigilant and watch yourself. You should just take hold of yourself that, okay, you should just keep talking to yourself. You should practice, because it's not something you're used to. You just practice being that thing for that time, for that period of time. And you should be very, very vigilant. Do you understand? Don't allow it to affect your reality in real life, character in real life. Just know, okay, I'm supposed to just act this and just go back to you, being you as a good person. So that's just it.
And final words before we wrap up this section. What is your final words from both you, Salami and Barnabas? What will you like to put out there to to anybody who is going to watch this movie? Anybody who watched this movie, what are your final words? Starting with you, Barnabas.
Okay. So really, I'd say my final word, like we already know, Happy ending. The story in essence is about how the African society has turned a blind eyes, to sexual assault. You get, especially
Your camera is
against
off. Sorry. Yeah, but go on.
especially against male folks. So really, everybody is seeing this movie. We want a situation whereby you watch and you're able to pick out one thing, at least one, if not anything, one thing, which is being able to relate, or if the movie is kind of relating to your life entirely, or relating to a past scenario of you being assaulted sexually, maybe in a form you're not just happy with, then I think this is a very clear view for you to be able to re-strategize. And when you find yourself in a place or a society or a community where you seem not to be gelling well with the people in the community, and it can be quite different if I am straight and this person is bi or something else. So you should be able to know when you're on track or when you're not. And seeing Happy Ending, the movie, I believe this movie would definitely help straighten a lot of parts, like a lot of parts, especially for the upcoming artists, because you find that most people now, they even don't believe that a guy can be raped. And if you tell someone, "Omo, I was raped," they'll be like, "A guy rape? How? How did it happen?" So this would help straighten those who are coming, especially the upcoming actors who wants to get into the movie industry, but they don't really know how, due to the fact that there's been promises from a lot of sponsors and people want to take advantage of them. Yeah, this would be an eye opener for them and help them, re-strategize, think about every step and every decisions they want to make in getting into the movie industry entirely, or whatsoever platform they find themselves.
Thank you so much, Barnabas. And final words from you, Salami. Salami, are you with us?
Yeah, very well, sir.
So, what are your
Okay,
final words?
okay. Well, as for me, okay. All right, my final words as for me, right? You know, my final words to the viewers out there, it's Happy Ending. It's a movie that it's a kind of a different kind of a picture of a movie. You understand? Many people watch all kinds of films, like you just watch films, but Happy Ending has to just it's a movie that you don't you when you just watch it, you just get to be surprised, like whoa. So you get to see that. So a guy can also be raped and things like this happen in the modeling industry or in the movie industry. You understand? So you just be okay. Since you get to like if you get to come across Happy Ending and you get to watch it, then you already know what you're going out there to face. Then you should be vigilant. You should be wise that okay, I've seen something like that in a movie some time ago. Then you should just get hold of yourself that if you should be able to come across anything like that on whatsoever you're doing, maybe in your lifetime or anything, then you should know how to react to it. So that's just it. So because like to me, like Happy Ending is a movie, like an entire movie that just had this like it has a good thing to just put in out there. You understand? For you to just get to know what you're going to meet out there in the entertainment industry when it comes to modeling or in the movie industry, because things like this happen in real life. Sure, guys do get raped, girls do get raped, you understand? So it happened just for sexual pleasure. So you just need to just know what you're going out there to face. So that's my final. So my final words for you is just be vigilant. Just be careful as a guy or a girl. Don't feel like, oh, it's only a girl that can get raped. No, a guy can also get raped. You understand? It happened in real life. So many people doesn't know that. They just don't know the idea. They don't get the idea. They don't know that okay, a guy can equally get raped, and they just feel free and just visit anyone and just go anywhere and just like that. So I just believe the movie should just put a whole form of lecture into many minds and brain. So that's just my final word.
Thank you so much, Barnabas, and thank you so much, Salami. Before we go, we should always remember that models are not sexual objects, and even from this movie, we should remember that when we get into a career space, be it modeling, be it entertainment, be it whatever career, we should also remember that we should read the signs in the room. Reading the signs in the room first, keep all your relationship with your sponsors, your relationship with your bosses strictly professional. Secondly, make sure when you go out with your bosses, they are not saying, oh, come over to my house, and your boss does not have a living room in his house. You come into his house, is in his bed. Make sure you read the signs in the room. Make sure you meet in a casual, open space when you are with your bosses. Secondly, as a victim of rape, you can get healing. As you can hear from Barnabas, Barnabas has, he has learned to forgive. Forgiveness is one way. Also, getting something to occupy that part of your life, because the anger will be there as a keto victim, as a rape victim, as a crisis victim. The anger will be there, the pain will be there, but channel that anger towards something new. Channel that anger towards something positive. And my name remains Chimereze Henry Ahonaya, and you have been watching Breaking News Wahala. And on this episode, we have been with Hog Media Production. And don't forget, their movies will be streaming. The links to Hog Media Production will be beneath these videos. And all inquiries, please direct it to Hog Media at their Gmail email account rather. And finally, and don't forget, the movie is still in the post-production aspect. GoFundMe has been set up for this movie so we can go through the editing process, the sound design, and the mixing part of this movie to give you a top-notch movie. And viewers, again, I remain Chimereze Henry Ahonaya. Peace out.